It is Friday, February 23rd. And, of course, we will each have our teams. Mary will be back here for it. And so starting Monday, we'll start putting people on my team. Coxicles, you can go to WMMS.com for all the details. Hit the contest page to get them there. I'll also have tickets for you if you want to go to that Bush show. They're doing the Greatest Hits Tour. If you saw them at Buzzard Fest or if you missed them, they're back in August with Jerry Cantrell and Candlebox. If you want to go see Alkaline Trio, we'll get you set up for that show. I'll have Cleveland Monsters tickets. By the way, next week, Rover will have those Billy Joel tickets. They announced that Billy Joel Rod Stewart concert at Cleveland Browns Stadium. So if you're trying to get your mitts on those, you're going to want to zero in on him. I don't know how he's doing them, but that's where he'll have them. I got a letter from, who was this from? We were talking about revolutions in economics or whatever the other day, and Ken wrote me. He said, anybody bitching about not making a living wage at fast food or Walmart working for 40 hours needs to learn a skill and get a better job.
But what if those jobs aren't available like they used to be?
Well, that's the argument.
And that's the thing that is so, like, Ken, those are the factory jobs now. All the jobs that were manufacturing and that you could get without having a high school education back in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s are gone. So the unskilled labor, if you want to call it that, which is a myth, is fast food. And they are billion-dollar companies with CEOs and higher-ups that are paid a ton of money, and they are high-pressure jobs, too. You go into those places, they're always busy, and even though it's not super complicated, it is high stress. So I have no problem with them getting some of the CEO's bonus because they're making record profits and paying their employees a living wage. Minimum wage was always supposed to be so that people could live off that wage.
Yeah, there's no reason that a billionaire can be a billionaire without exploiting every single person who works underneath him. I mean, it's not because Jeff Bezos doesn't work a billion times harder than you.
Any person.
But most of the people who, in their defense, most of the people who do write me these kinds of letters, they went to trade school.
Right.
You know, they work a trade, and they're like,
but there's only so many jobs of those that you can have. And like, I'm not saying don't go to trade school. I think that's a great way to make a living. It's a good thing to do. But a lot of the people. I don't think you should work 40 hours a week and not be able to afford rent, and like you should be able to make a living working 40 hours a week at any job in this country. In the greatest country in the world, you should be able to make a living working 40 hours a week.
America first.
That's
America
right.
First. Get that through your head, dude. America first. America first. You heard that before? What? America first. America first. What the hell, man? Dude. America first. America first. To all of you, let me explain one damn thing. America, America, America. Dude, you understand? America, America, America. My point is America's first. America, America, America. What the hell, man? Globalists, no! Goblins, no! This is it. Everybody get ready! America first! America first! Get that through your head, dude! America first! America first! You heard that before? What? America first! America first! Get that through your head! America first! America first!
It always devolves into screaming for Alex Jones. Well, by the way, on the subject of Walmart, have you been down to the Steel Yard in a minute?
It's been a while.
I went down there this morning, and first, the old Best Buy is they're getting ready to open a Ross Dress for Less.
Nice.
In the old Best Buy. But more interesting to me is the fact that it's not open yet. They're still putting the finishing touches on it. They're opening a Chipotle across the street from Chipotle.
Are they going to shut the other Chipotle down?
I mean, I have to think so, but why would they do that?
Well, that Chipotle that's down there is in a very cramped parking situation, so maybe
it's on the edge of a huge parking lot.
Yeah, but the parking lot for the actual Chipotle is called cramped. So
Huh.
I don't know. But
Yeah,
my
I mean,
guess is that they just go, this Chipotle's been here for 12 years. It's time to update it. So we're going to give up that lease and build one over here.
I mean, I have to assume that that's what is precisely what's happening, but still, I was like,
or they're just
but
busy
you
enough
already-
down there they can
yeah.
get 2 Chipotle's going.
you already have the building and the structure, because it used to be like there'd be an IHOP, and then they used to have a place called Guthrie's Chicken. I think that's gone.
I like
I
that
used to
place.
love Guthrie.
That was like,
Guthrie's is
I
good.
never
Never
actually
had
made it
it.
in there, but it was like a local joint that people raved about. But
Well, it was a chain from the south that this was like the only one that was up here.
I thought it was a local
No,
place.
it was great though.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that, but I saw
Guthrie's
Chipotle across from the soon-to-be-open new Chipotle. They put a Starbucks down there, and but
There was
I thought that was a little odd.
that reminds me of like back. I think it was like on the borderline of Amherst, Lorraine. They built a Taco Bell right next. They tore the Taco Bell down just to move it over like a couple feet. I don't know why. I don't know
Well,
if
maybe
it
they
was
figure
zoning,
if we're going to have a
but-
new, because those Taco Bells all got kind of a fresh coat of paint and they got the redesign. Maybe if they're going to do a redesign, because the new Chipotles do look different. They've got the new logo and the whole thing. So maybe they just figure we're just going to tear the other one down or lease it to somebody and build a completely new structure with all new stuff in it rather than using the old bones. But it's just, companies are so cheap that I'm surprised that they would do that. But I don't know. Now, the Ross Dress for Less in the Best Buy there, former Best Buy, whether or not you'll still be able to go in there and get phone chargers, televisions, I don't know.
I mean, probably phone chargers.
I've never been in a Ross Dress for Less. Is that like a TJ Maxx?
I think
Yeah.
it's like a
Like a dress barn?
It's similar to a TJ Maxx or like a
I thought it was
Burlington.
like cheaper than that. That it was like not a thrift store, but not like a store.
I mean, I can't imagine that any new
Like a
thing down in the
Gabe's.
steel yard is going to be someplace that's more expensive.
I thought it was like a Gabriel Brothers, where it's like slightly off clothing, or like the hemming is wrong, or
Okay.
that's what I've never been inside one, but that was the vibe I got.
Chipotle is going to different ordering procedures, people are telling me. The drive-through for Chipotle.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
there
so
you
they
go.
have to put it. Yeah, the one
Okay.
in Berea opened. Brian called me day of and was like, "Guess what I got for dinner?
Yeah.
I got Chipotle for." He's like, "Dude, it was packed. It's a big deal."
Alan, me and the crew are doing all the framing and carpentry at the new Ross today. Hey,
Nice.
I was just down there. I just saw your work. Well done. Alan, I barely got out of high school, no college, got into banking 7 years ago. Now I make 6 figures. You were never supposed to be able to have a career at Wendy's. Well, yeah.
I'm not saying a
there
career.
are a
I'm
lot of
saying
different
if
schools
you're
of thought
working
on that
40
whole
hours
thing.
a week, you should be able to live.
Right. Alan, F that guy. So the guy going to work at 6 deserves a good wage, but the guy that gets to work at 5 to make him his food doesn't?
Thank you.
There you go.
In order for American society to grow, there has to be an oppressed class. There has to be people on the
We can still oppress them. Just make sure they got some money. I'm not saying we can't oppress people.
Yeah, you're not going to be
We
a
can still look
billionaire, but
down
people,
on 'em, but
people
we
are
can-
like, I'm not trying to be rich. I'm trying to not die.
Yeah.
Trying to feed my kids or whatever. Alan, unskilled labor is a myth, but there is labor that requires minimum skill. If 30 minutes of training can make you proficient, then it's not very skilled. Well, it is interesting. People's
that's the difference-
perspectives are kind of
but
based on
that's-
their own experiences.
That's a
and-
language situation. That's not actual. Because there's people. I mean, there's people that
You're saying that's
go-
a semantic argument.
It's a semantic argument because a trade is. I mean, yes, it's a skill, but there's people that are better at making hamburgers than other people. There's people that are more proficient at it than others.
Well-
And again, it's the stress of the situation when you are in the thick of it. I mean, you know about that working in the service industry,
And
Mary,
you're
where
working with people,
working with people, yeah,
especially about their food,
and managing
fast
people
food
and
where they're
fast
like,
food
I
where
want
it's
it
like,
now,
yeah, you
or
want
this
it
is
now,
cold.
yes.
Yeah.
Forget about the food though for a second. Like, what about these people who work in like assisted living facilities, like these caretakers? I have seen people, like I used to recruit for people that used to work in like healthcare, and they were just like caretakers. They would make like $9, $10, $11 an hour, and they're taking care of people's elderly parents and stuff. And I'm like, bro, Like, that's an important job. Like, everyone wants their loved one to be taken care of, and these people are coming out with, like, felonies and stuff, and they don't really have a high skill set, but you want them to do a good job. So be careful how you treat people. And
then they're
what you
having
pay
bum
them.
fights on nanny cams in the day room.
That's what I'm saying. And you're surprised that these people are not, your mom or your dad is not getting the care that they need when they're hiring people for, like, the quality of the care is not going to be that great because you're paying them $9-10 an hour.
That's terrible that they're having bum fights or old people fight each other in the day room. Where can someone watch that to avoid it? I want to know the website or send me the link so I know what to look for so I don't end
So you
up
know the warning
watching
signs.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, see, all the people who hit me up in the trades, and somebody hit me up, a couple of people have left me messages about the trades and the myth that those jobs are hard to come by. Where's that message?
Hi, everyone. My name is Christian. I'm a plumbing contractor in sunny South Florida. Hate the show. I just wanted to share that there is a huge need for trades in our nation, Ohio and Florida being one of the most desperate states. Most trade schools are sponsored by the company, so no personal debt is incurred. Please, please, please sign up for trade school.
Boom. There you go. All right.
I wonder, is there a maximum age at which you could get into a trade?
No.
I mean, they're going to want, obviously, any job is going to look for younger people who can potentially put more time into the job or have a longer career. But, like, I got to think about when it's all over for me in showbiz, what I'm going to do. And, like, could I ostensibly, let's say I have...
You become a plumber?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many more years I got in this business. They usually tell you when you're done. But could I go learn to plumb?
I think so.
Could I go be an electrician's apprentice?
I know a guy in his 40s who just started roofing.
Oh,
He was
God,
a bartender forever.
Roofies?
And then became a roofer.
Ah,
I don't know if there's another name for that, but
No,
I think
that's
it's roofer.
yeah, he was tired of being in the service industry and he started doing roofing work.
Gotcha.
God, that's backbreaking labor, though.
At,
Oh, my
at
God.
42, you know what I mean? Alan, you're going to be 60, 70 trying to plumb something? Come on.
The
Become
depths.
Woody.
Yeah, Woody. I mean, he's getting ready to hang up his hammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
His tack hammer. Alan, I did not go to college. I built a career running ads online, working at marketing agencies. Minimum wage should still be a living wage. Also, I should be paid more.
Yeah.
If the workers don't get paid enough to exist in the country they live in, it will eventually collapse the economy. This is not something that can be argued against.
People argue against it constantly.
They do. I was on the waiting list for 3 years to get into the union for pipe fitters. Now anyone off the street can try to get in because they need people.
Okay.
Well, that's just the ebb and the flow of the market. I mean, there's no way, I don't know. That's why when they talk about, like, universal basic income, when AI takes everybody's jobs, universal basic income, it's like, where's that money going to come from?
AI plumbers.
You're not going to have as much it would ostensibly come from tax revenue, but you're going to have way less of that because you're going to have fewer people paying taxes. There's already people, like, bitching now that they pay taxes for their local school district. They're like, I don't have kids. So, like, you either have kind of a, what's that?
That'd be me.
Well, it just...
I'm going to pay for your little bastards.
But
You
that's
pay
like
for your own kids.
But that's a philosophical difference, right? People either kind of have a community mindset or they don't have a community mindset. So for people to go, yes, I'm happy to pay into the school district because other people in my community have children and I want them to be properly educated. That's one way to look at it. That would be the community-minded way to look at it. But some people are like, so okay, that's
But
not
then
how
the
you think of
people-
it.
The people who don't want to pay into the education system are also the ones who are going to cry about unskilled workers. Where
That's
it's
correct.
like, well, if it starts with bad education
Right.
and you know what I mean, then what do you think they're going to grow up to be?
Yeah.
I'm catching up on the podcast. I was listening to an episode from a couple days ago. And you guys talking about language being fluid, English always changing. I was at the hardware store and I said, these pipe fittings are getting real expensive. Well, I said that to an associate at the store. He's probably about 20. And this young man looks at me and goes, "No cap." I'm like, "You are at work, sir. Are you for real right now?
Maybe he meant they didn't have pipe caps.
Yeah, man, we're out of pipe caps. No cap.
Yeah, I know. Are you a
Come
welder?
on,
I don't
like,
have pipe
you
caps.
You don't use slang at your job as long as he's
I
doing
think
his
it's.
job well.
I know, but his point is that to him it sounded very unprofessional. Boy, these are getting expensive. No
No
cap.
No cap.
I thought no cap was like all gone. By the way, I haven't heard anybody say no cap
No,
in quite
it
a
means,
while.
Like
No.
true.
No, I know what it
No,
means. I
he
just
thought
I don't
nobody
hear.
was using it anymore.
I was gonna say I don't hear
Oh, I
anybody
thought-
saying it anymore.
I thought you meant
No, that's cap.
meant all gone.
No, I just don't hear anybody say no cap anymore.
It used to be fronting, and now it's capping. So now I'm not up to date with the slang. I let the young people tell me what the slang is, and then I sound like the old guy trying to repeat it back.
You are the old
that's
guy now.
that's one of the things. Like when someone that's new to comedy in their early 20s, they'll go up and they'll use Gen Z speak, and it's not that the crowd's that much older than them, but it's just there is a gap there, and so a bunch of people will just be like, I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know for sure.
My music was better than this generation's music. This music is trash now. Who's Olivia Rodrigo?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
And how do you determine when the music is better or worse, by the way, right? There's pop music.
There's
in
what
every
I like
generation.
and what everybody else
Yeah,
likes.
right.
I guess so.
I like the good
I
stuff.
don't like it as much.
I like the good stuff. You guys like the bad
You
stuff.
could,
Yeah.
you could roll down all the windows in your car and blast music and just have a hell of a time. You just
Oh.
enjoy yourself. Cruise out into the sunset. Now all this music is just all this.
You can't cruise out into the sunset anymore with your SoundCloud bedroom pop?
No.
Something that some guy made on his laptop?
No.
I like some of those bands.
I
It's
forgot.
nice.
I forgot to tell you, Poundcake, yesterday when I was driving in, I had my windows down because it was 45 degrees, and that's summer in January. And I had my windows down. I was listening to The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
And there was a girl that was working, and she started kind of bopping to it a little bit, and then gave me a point.
hell yes.
I
See,
think that's my third time.
Yeah, Poundcake, you don't have the ear for it, really.
No.
You don't have the feel. Bill's got the feel for
The
it.
thing is, I'm getting attention from the wrong people because there's like a white guy that sits there sometimes in the golf cart, and I'll pull up. And he'd be like, "Hey!" I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't want a greeting from you." Like, and he was like, "Happy." He didn't say. I said Friday Junior. He said, "Happy." Something.
Friday Eve.
Yeah, he was like, "Happy Friday Eve." I'm like, "Hi, Happy Friday Eve." I was like, "Why aren't you black? Like, I just need the nod."
Why aren't you black? Half of you isn't either.
I know, but I feel more validated if it was black.
Oh, wow, I love it.
I had to turn down my Christina Aguilera and just do my little key card. I'm like, "Yep, Happy Friday Junior. Bye."
Bye. Alan, I work at an industrial rigging company. It's a very dirty job, but it pays about $50 to $80K with minimal education. We're always looking, but nobody ever wants to choose it as a career. Yeah, well.
Oh, then I guess there are people that just don't want to work anymore.
There's
They don't
always
wanna
people
get-
who don't want to
They,
work.
they don't want to get black lung.
Stephen Canton says Poundcake's thought is, if I can't whip him, I ain't paying for him. School tuition.
No cap.
God.
I will treat people how they treat me. What has the village given
Has it
me?
ever occurred to you to perhaps
No.
treat people nicer
No.
than they treat you?
I'll treat
Really?
them
No?
the same
Wow.
energy.
Where's the Riz in that?
God, this is so cringy, dude.
You keep the same energy. I'll treat you how you
no,
treat
no,
me.
not so cringy.
Faux shiz, faux shiz.
Cringe AF.
Oh, yeah. Faux shiz, faux shiz.
I'm gagging.
Speaking of faux shiz, do you see who's coming to town in July?
Timberlake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Faux
wanna
shiz, faux shiz.
go. That was my
Poundcake's
first.
gonna go.
It's my first real concert ever. It was just
JT.
Like, Future Sex Love Sounds.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
My dad gave
Sexy
me.
back?
Yep, my dad gave me $40, and I came home with a $40 pair of booty shorts that my ass absolutely hung out of that said "sexy back," and he was like, "You can never wear those. I hope you know that. Like, wear them
How
around the
old
house
were
all
you?
you want." I was 17. It was my senior year in high
Oh,
school.
okay. I thought you were like 12 or something.
No, and he was like, you will not ever wear those out of the house.
Did you?
No. Oh, I would hide
No,
them
she
sometimes.
wore him around the house all the time just to
But
like
then I
out of
would
spite.
take them like on sleepovers sometimes. I'd like pack them in my bag so he didn't know. If I knew there'd be boys and we'd be hanging out.
These boys got to get a load of my donk in these
My
sexy
little-
backs booty shorts.
My little Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. All right, I got a break. I'll have those Sum 41. I don't know if they sell Sum 41 booty shorts at their concerts, but it's a farewell tour, and they're coming to Blossom this summer with the Interrupter. So if you want to get that last pair of tickets from me this week, I will have those for you after the break, and then another